Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Kirklees Guitar School Podcast. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. George Loveridge. How are you?
I'm all right, James. I'm enjoying the surf vibes today.
I feel like we're going back to his roots a little bit today.
We are. This is what we love, isn't it?
Yeah, so we've got a really cool episode planned for you today. But first of all, rock or roll?
It's a stroll.
Oh, dear.
Nothing to report.
Right.
It's just been a week. Week.png.
Yeah?
.mp3. That's it. Just a week of teaching, week of writing. That's it, really. So
Nothing to report?
no, so nothing bad, nothing good. More gigs this weekend, so we'll see what happens. We'll check in next week again.
Right, okay.
I have a feeling you're going to be an astounding rock
Yes, absolutely.
this week. Okay.
Absolutely. So, yeah, my week has been both very surreal and very amazing. So, it's been in the works for quite a long time. Those of you that follow the Facebook group, I've just acquired. I'm now the new custodian of this very old, very vibey vintage Stratocaster. So we're gonna do a video around this because I've played a Sunburst Strat for years, haven't I? That's been my main gigging guitar, and that was a copy of what this is. So if you'd like to see us put the two together head to head,
I'd enjoy that.
Is it really is the hype?
Yeah.
Is it all Mr. Bonamassa that's putting the price of these up through the roof, or is there actually something about them? But I have just not put it down. I've been smiling like a Cheshire cat since I picked it up yesterday. So.
As long as I've known James, he's always said, I want this guitar. And nothing has ever filled that hole. So, and there it is.
There it is.
So what now?
It took, well, and that's the thing. It's kind of like, am I done?
Yeah.
No, it's never done. But anyway,
let's film
so
a podcast then.
Just a reminder, we are live at Denbydale Pie Hall for the Kirklees Guitar School live podcast on Saturday, the 6th of June. Myself and George are going to be bringing the show to a live studio setting at the Denbydale Pie Hall, where we are doing our second instalment of the 80s Decade Discovery Series. So what are we going to do there?
So we're going to talk about all 80s riffs post-1985. So if you watched a couple of weeks ago, we did 1980 to 85. This time we're doing 85 to 89. Bit of pop, bit of rock, bit of metal. We always like to do a couple of different genres. Plus, we're giving away 2 guitars.
We've got 2 guitars to give away.
So check out our Cheap Guitar Challenge for more info on those. Be watching the shorts and the reels and stuff for more teasers. But it's getting close now.
Tickets are strictly limited. It's going to be a couple of weeks.
They're running thin on the ground, aren't they?
First link in the description. If you want it, if you've been meaning to book a ticket, get it done because once they are gone, they are gone.
Absolutely.
So what's on the agenda for today?
So today we're trying to ascertain why guitarists love offset guitars. I was saying to you earlier, James, the Jaguar was my poster guitar for years. I mean, I love the cars. I've owned a couple of them. But the Jag, I just thought, yes, liking the Beach Boys and stuff. I played one and I just didn't get it. And I've been playing this one for about literally 10 minutes this morning. And I'm still not sold. So we're going to try and ascertain why do guitarists love offset guitars. We're talking surf up to grunge and everything in between. Bit of a history on each guitar.
Yeah, this is more just kind of a very broad look at that subject. If there's anybody that uses an offset guitar that we don't cover in the in this episode, do let us know down below. But I feel like we've got a good spread. So I think first of all, why are they called offset guitars?
Well, to me, it's the visuals, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's especially this Jaguar, it's slightly smaller than compared to the Jaguar or a Strat. It's this weird design. It sort of looks like a Strat that's been heated up and just pushed in another direction. You've lent on the contours a little bit. But yeah, I'm essentially learning in this episode with you. I'm the audience here. I know nothing about these, really.
So offset guitars were meant to be sort of variations in the catalogue from Fender's 2 main offerings, which was the Telecaster, which came first, and then the Stratocaster. Now, the Jazzmaster and the Jaguar have been part of the catalogue for a long time as well. I think as early as 1958, the Jazzmaster came in.
Yeah, I did put some dates down.
And then is it 62
for this?
And
these were sort of, especially the Jag, it's almost like the SG was to the Les Paul. It was a super sport version. It's lighter, shorter scale length. You can access the higher frets better. It was designed to be more of a musician's mate.
More ergonomic.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, just as the you could argue the upgrade from a Telecaster to a Stratocaster. The Stratocaster saw the comfort cuts and a little bit. It was seen as the more premium product.
Yes.
Now, the Jazzmaster coming out in 1958 was supposed to be for jazz guitarists. That's why they called it the Jazzmaster.
There was this whole competition with Gibson and Gretsch, I'd imagine.
Yeah. And what these guitars do differently that something like a Strat or a Tele doesn't do is they have 2 circuits. So if you have a look up here, this is what they call the rhythm circuit, and this is the lead circuit. Now, if you play Les Pauls or Gibson-style guitars, you'll think, oh, well, I've just got that one switch up there for a Les Paul. But this is actually far more complex than that. The switch up here on both guitars, you have a volume and tone, and it's very woolly. And it's meant to be for...
Flying to the moon.
know.
Yeah. That was almost a bit of Queen to Stone Age. Definitely not for that, though, is it?
It can be, though, and we'll get there later. We'll get there later on. Now, it was supposed to be it's supposed to be for that sort of jazz bebop type club scenario, but it just completely flopped. A bit like the Les Paul, funnily enough. When the Les Paul came out as the most valuable ones are now, nobody bought them. They were a flop. But then sort of 60s California culture started with the surf movement, and you found people like the Ventures, the Safaris, the Shantays, the Beach Boys started using these guitars because they've got this lovely kind of jangly upper end. Now, if I go to the lead circuit, so all this is not working now. I've now got a conventional 3-way switch, tone and volume. But the back pickup... all I can hear...
What helps that as well, you've got 11s on that, haven't you?
Yes.
So they're really singing.
Yeah, so 11s, what we mean by that is they're 11-gauge strings. I've purposely... We'll talk about why I've got... it's not a problem unless you admit it's a problem, but...
yeah, these are both yours.
2 of these.
Yeah, if you're unfamiliar, these are both
2
yours.
of these, but they do 2 very different jobs in my stable. So these are often mistaken for P90 pickups. They're not. They're essentially giant single coil pickups, and they're their own thing. We were having a discussion about it in the Facebook group a couple of weeks ago. And because the single coil pickups, they've got the kind of Strat thing about them, but I sort of think of these as a little bit of a middle ground between a Strat and a Tele. They're not as nasal as a Tele, but they're not as sort of smooth and refined as a Strat. So that's a brief overview of the Jazzmaster. What have we got over there with the Jag?
So this is a Fender Jaguar, as we said earlier, launched in 1962 as Fender's next top-of-the-line guitar, as that was in 58, 4 years prior. This, even just looking at it, feels like a toy compared to the Jazz. So this is a shorter scale length and a smaller body.
So what does that mean? If something's got a shot... Because we're having a conversation in one of the threads on the Facebook group about radius of the neck and scale length and all this stuff. That means nothing to me. I just play them. What does it mean?
I can feel that the length from sort of the bum to the head is shorter. Okay. It is a smaller guitar. If you compare them in length, they will be considerably... this will be smaller than the...
Yeah. And it's not a lot, is
It's not, but it's noticeable. I'm not the biggest guy in the world, but I can feel this is a smaller guitar, even compared to a Strat, which is nuts. But yeah, as you say, the surf guys adopted these. Al Jardine, the Beach Boys, Carl Wilson, the Ventures, all them really went for this. And it was, from just playing it this morning, I can hear that it's Strat a little bit more into surf. And I think that's just because of the genre, the people who adopted
So these, like the Jazzmaster has its own sort of style of pickup. Those are more singles. Sort of traditional single coils, but the idea of the rhythm circuit and the lead circuit stays the same. However, rather than a 3-way switch, you've got 3, which I'm not even going to begin to try and explain.
No, I must admit, everyone,
works.
I picked this up 10 minutes before we started filming, and I'm not touching anything. I've worked out. Oh, I've just got my tuner on to kill the sound. I'm sort of adopting a neck and bridge kind of thing. But should we have a listen to how it sounds?
Yeah, what are some sort of like hallmark songs done on a Jaguar?
Okay, so Jaguar, let's start with the Beach Boys, a favourite of mine. It's interesting that he's never made it like to the Beatles or anything. There would have been some cool records if the Stones and the Beatles.
Well, I know the Beatles had a bass 6, which is the bass guitar equivalent,
which was used on the whole Let It Be.
It was all the White Album stuff, wasn't it? Yeah.
So let's have a look. We've got Surfin' Safari and Fun Fun Fun, the Beach Boys. If everybody had a... It's the whole 12-bar blues thing.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting, if we look at the playing of that, you've got this E-flat chord. He's just hitting the sus4, the suspended fourth, and then it's a 1-4-5. But instead of playing the course in this octave, they're jumping it down an octave and using the E and the A string, and it's peculiar because you finish this E-flat riff and you go straight to the 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's you say that's quite unusual, but you start looking at people like Chuck Berry. A lot of them did that. Like a lot of those kind of
Hail
like
rock and roll and
riffs. You know, the sort of, that sort of. It doesn't start on the one, does it? But I think that'll have literally just been in the studio. They've gone, I've got this riff, just play a couple of chords over it, and then we start here. It's more how many chords can we fit over that riff rather than I'm going to write a riff that fits over this progression. That's the kind of vibe.
That Chuck Berry thing you mentioned, Chuck Berry was everyone's inspiration.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think that Carl Wilson and whatnot heard Johnny B. Good and went, okay, let's do it in E flat. Should we do that again? That's Johnny B. Good chucked into E flat and given its own sprinkle of magic, isn't it?
But in your defence there, one thing, I've had that guitar for about 8 weeks, maybe 12 weeks at a push. I've had this one for a lot longer.
Yes.
That guitar's really hard to play.
I wasn't going to say it, but it is. It's on 9-gauge strings, is this. I play 10s regularly. The neck is tiny.
Yeah.
It's so... Not that the profiling is nice. It feels like a regular C, like a Strat, but the width of the neck is really small.
It's really strange, isn't it? Now, I've almost sort of taken that as a personal challenge. It's like if I can play anything on that. I did the Under the Bridge lesson on that guitar. On this guitar, it's a walk in the park because it's massive. I was playing it on my Strat yesterday, and it's like, oh, this is so much easier. I play it on that guitar, and everything's really small. Now, there's a couple of people that will sort of go, oh, well, an offset, it's all closer together. If I've got smaller hands, I'll be able to reach. I don't think
it doesn't feel like it's working like
I don't think it's as sort of as simple as that. No. So it did the surf thing kind of when it first came out, and then I sort of feel like the Jag really didn't get a lot of love. Well, funnily enough, you should say that the Beatles didn't get the hands on any of this stuff. Well, the trade ban between England and the US wasn't lifted until 62.
Right, okay.
So and that came out in 62. So chances are everyone was after Stratocasters because
they'd seen Buddy Holly
Marvin and Buddy Holly and all that sort of stuff. So we were probably a decade behind.
I would say so.
For the first time ever.
It was only the sort of weirdos like The Cure and Kurt Cobain who went, oh.
Well, so it kind of had, like, there will have been, somebody will correct us in the comments, and rightly so. Please do correct us in the comments.
Brian Smith played a Jag for the Bobbies
in 1970, in 1992.
Yes.
But I sort of feel like it fell out of vogue after the surf thing. And then in the sort of 80s, it sort of came back as a cool alternative. Oh, people don't play these anymore. So I'm thinking of people like Johnny Marr. Yeah. You mentioned The Cure.
What's his name? Elvis Costello.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Elvis Costello is actually, he was a Jazzmaster.
Right. So, but even so, Jazzmaster's not seen a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They both, the resurgence of them was really important. But like you think of like Johnny Marr and the Smiths and that sort of clean kind of like sort of. Can you show me what it sounds like on yours and not completely butcher it?
Oh well, it will be butchered. It's got that telly middle pickup feel.
It's almost a bit nasal.
Nasal, yeah, and it's that mid. That's the whole. But if we go back to the Beach Boys, then they used this Jag for all that soaring surf trebly stuff, and listen, like we did Wipeout earlier, you can hear the springs in the reverb tank shaking. They did in my room on a Jag. You couldn't have two different styles of playing, but done on the same guitar. And that's just purely rhythm.
Yeah.
It's the vocal, obviously the Beach Boys, the harmonies were overtook everything. But it can still do all of that stuff from...
But
Johnny
in
Marr.
comparison, like, you can hear that sort of jangliness. The Jazzmaster, I feel like, you doing it in the... I ain't got the capo. I don't feel like it's as... I feel like it's a bit smoother.
That is much more sophisticated.
Which, funnily enough, Fender's goal was to create a more sophisticated...
make this top of the line. I think it was just... I'm glad we have it.
Yeah.
But there's still more songs to talk about.
You're not sure. Well, let's sort of around the sort of surf sound. I feel like the Jazzmaster was used predominantly more as a rhythm guitar around that time rather than the sort of, we spoke about. It's got the sound and
but it's single coils.
Got the punch.
That's it. It's got this presence and this kind of like, and I don't know if it's specifically this guitar in particular. I don't know, because this is a vintage reissue one. If you'd have bought one in 1966, this is what you would have got with the custom colours. But I feel like the Jazzmaster didn't really come into its stride until the sort of a little bit later on. I always feel like it's been a great second guitar, like an alternative guitar for people. It's a second to a Strat. If you have a Strat, you have a Telly or one of them.
Yeah.
If you're MrFender.com. But as I said, I went to play one of these at a shop and didn't like the way it felt. I was then handed a Classic Vibe Telly. Went, yes, that is the guitar for me, and that's just my preference.
Yeah.
But then you get someone like Alex Turner.
Yeah.
The Arctic Monkeys. See, that's where offsets came back in the 90s and
I feel
early
like
noughties.
the sort of get, what is it, don't they? Well, like, so people like Nirvana and any of those kind of like grunge bands, and they're sort of like, you read into people at that time and they sort of go, oh, well, they were all just cheap guitars in pawn shops. That's what we could get. But they all seem to be playing, you think of, again, let us know down in the comments, but I'm thinking like Nirvana, used offset guitars, any of those sort of like Smashing Pumpkins and all that.
But
kind
didn't
of
Kurt
stuff.
have a Jag and he put a DiMarzio humbucker in it or something?
So he had a 1962 Jaguar that he'd put to, I think there were the Duncans or were the DiMarzios? I can't remember, but it's what's now become his kind of like signature guitar that Fender offered, where he basically stripped the two weaker pickups out of it and put humbuckers in it.
Which is why you get that whole... But then you listen to the start of... It's very Strat single coil, isn't it?
Well, and I don't think I've ever seen Kurt play one of those guitars, a Gibson style guitar. It's all been Fenders, Jaguars, Mustangs, But you compare. But what happens is these guitars are so known for being, black and white telly, everyone's guitars up here, and then you put a shed load of distortion and a Marshall. It has that sort of...
But in the same breath, you can get away with... So they are very versatile for two genres.
But also, like, I think because the single coil pickups and its old technology dealing with it, it's like driving an old car or playing old guitars. They do kind of whinge and creak and groan a little bit, as most people do at 60 plus years old, Well,
I mean, I haven't really used this tremolo system, which is very different to a Strat tremolo system, isn't it? How do they work?
So it's like, the body's routed and the whole unit sits in the almost like you have a route for the pick guard that sits in it, the top of the body is routed, and that system just sits in it, and you literally just screw it in. It's not like a Stratocaster tremolo that has springs that go up the back of the body. And I forget the name. It's, you know, like you have the floating Stratocaster 6.2-point tremolo. You have a Bigsby. You have a Floyd Rose. This doesn't have a special name. It's just a floating tremolo. It's just what it's called. And it's because it's kind of suspended, and it's sort of almost like the Maestro. It's kind of bending on one bit of metal. But what I like about it, a bit like the Bigsby in his other episode. It's got this lovely...
Well, that's Chris Isaac, Blue Hotel, that kind of vibe, and Wicked Game.
That is why I have one in my collection, because my Desert Island guitar is a Stratocaster.
It's that Stratocaster, actually.
That one particularly,
but
on the beach. I can do 9 out of 10 things professionally that I need to do. I can a Strat, a Fender amp, and a drive pedal. I'm fine, right? When I talk about having other guitars that do one specific job, that's what these guitars do. That clean, airy, lovely. When I'm recording, backing tracks and making things for the Academy...
That's a lovely recording guitar, though, isn't it?
And I'm nothing special here. I'm just set clean on the katana with a little bit of reverb, and that's the neck pickup. And it's a great guitar for adding layers. So that's why I have this one specifically. Now, the reason I went for both...
Because you've got a problem.
Yeah, but you don't. It's not a problem until you admit it's a problem. I've got this guitar set up very traditionally, 11-gauge strings. I'm actually considering putting flat wound strings on it, and it's very for that sort of surfing.
Yeah.
That I'm sort of bought after listening to a lot of Johnny Marr, the Smiths, that kind of jangly 80s thing where the sort of the got a resurgence did offset guitars. But I've got it set up very differently with 9-gauge strings. It's super duper. Yeah.
But then you can still get your whole... You say the 80s came about. You've then got the Cure, like we mentioned earlier, using... So in between... Well, you Boys Don't Cry. And you had that whole... Or your whole In Between Days. The whole alternative indie rock thing does it well as well.
Never understood the Cure.
Oh, I quite like the Cure.
Just don't get it.
No.
Just like it,
but that's the thing.
It could disappear off the face of the earth, and I wouldn't notice.
There's a really good meme of Robert Smith, the singer, where this person tweets a picture of him back in the day.
Yeah.
And she says, "Oh, why can't I find a guy like him?" And he replies saying, "Hey." She goes, "Ooh, who are you?" And I'm literally the guy in the picture.
Literally the guy in the picture.
Or the clip in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame where this American journalist says, "Oh my God, guys, are you excited as I am?" And Robert Smith says, "From the sound of it, no." So the Cure, I really would advise looking into the Cure.
The satire kind of aspect of it. But no, it's not Robert Smith's problem, it's my problem. I just don't get it. I'm a Luddite from the hills. So.
I would say the country guys nicked a bit of Offset love as well.
Absolutely. So Mr. Chris Stapleton just kind of came out of nowhere.
Now, is he a new country artist or is he an older country artist?
10, 15 years maybe. So not new.
It's not like Marcus King new sort of thing.
Yeah, kind of, but...
Right.
I think until he came out with Tennessee Whiskey, I don't feel like anyone this side of the Atlantic really knew who he was, but I feel like he's sort of a household name in the States. Could be wrong. Let me know.
Country's fashionable now, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and it goes in and out of vogue. Now, he's well known for playing a Jazzmaster. Now, in my research for this, the jury's out actually on what guitar was actually used to record it. Nobody knows.
You'd think it'd be a telly, wouldn't it?
Well, it kind of sounds like a telly, but actually, when I play it on this with the back pickup, and one thing that you can do when you're looking for that spaghetti western.
Well, you're picking as close to the bridge as you dare, aren't you?
Well, if I come back, it sounds.
You beat me to it. Beat me.
But can you hear the sound? Can you hear the difference? It's got that sort of like. It sounds like spy movies.
Minder and all that stuff.
Well, you combine that with a major pentatonic scale, and you get something like Tennessee Whiskey.
Go on, let's try and play that then.
Even the comping for that.
To me, that's your whole. I'd rather go blind to James.
Well, that's exactly what it is. It's just recycled. But
what I'm doing there, I'm either hitting the sus or I'm actually collapsing the chord.
Yeah.
Just nice, isn't it?
So everyone should learn that song. Somebody, a funny-looking fellow with a flat cap and a beard, did a lesson of that a long time ago. You should all
Brian
go
Johnson
watch it.
playing Tennessee Whiskey. So I've got a Les Paul, an SG, a Strat, and 2 tellies. Do I need an offset in my lineup?
It depends.
I don't think I do.
Right.
And I don't think you at home do either.
Right.
Unless you're wanting to play Arctic Monkeys and Stone Roses and all this indie rock, I think your surf stuff, all you need is a reverb pedal and a Strat.
It all
and
depends where
we
you're
have
coming
surf
from,
at home.
isn't it? Yeah.
Chalk ice is in the freezer again.
Yeah. It all depends. Like for me, offset guitars, I definitely don't need to. I think I do think, like, I hate to say it, but I do think that Jag might be in 12 months' time. It might not be here.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice piece of kit, but I wouldn't, like, if I talked with it for a week, I wouldn't be enthused to take it home again. That's how I really learn a guitar. When I buy a new guitar, I'm using it.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing it for 4 hours a day, every day. And that's when I work it out. But this, I don't know.
It does a couple of things really well. Would it be my forever guitar? No. This will always have a space in the rack because of the floaty and that back pickup thing. Does that mean Jazzmasters are better than Jaguars? No. In my opinion, it means this Jazzmaster
is better.
Does the job that I have for it, it does it better than that. Now, I might put some 11-gauge strings on that.
Well, I think that's why it
set it
sounds
up
weak.
differently.
So
do you think so?
Today I've got I've been using a boost, just a drive going from. I think that's because it's got 9s on, and they're not, and they're a bit old now. These 9s, they're not gross by any means.
No.
But like you can go for. Yeah, jury's out. What do you think?
Let us know down below. Do you have an offset? And if you had the choice,
Jazz or Jag?
Jazz or Jag, let us know down below. So just a reminder, a final reminder, we are live at Denbydale Pie Hall on the 6th of June. If you want to come and see us do the show live, plus a non-televised Q&A section, you can come and throw tomatoes at us and do whatever you want to do. Head to the first link in the description and grab your tickets there. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.